Yo. What's up? Talent that has slipped in the NFL draft, right? And that slipped in the draft so far. Jalen Milroe has slipped. Y'all see, I got his name up there. PFF got him ranked at. Let's see what PFF got him ranked. PFF got him ranked at 86.8 at quarterback. Dylan Gabriel at 87. Shador at 91, and Cam Ward at 92.5. Um, Listen, and I'm gonna say this, right. Kyle McCord is a hell of a thrower at a ball. He's a pretty decent mobile. Whoever gets Jalen Milroe is going to get a diamond in the rough. And listen, I get it. Trucking, what is you talking about? The way that he horribly played. First of all, so I'm a stats guy, right? So I'm gonna pull up the stats with y'all, right? And I'm gonna walk y'all through it. The people that might just be listening audio wise that really can't pay attention to the screen because you're driving or whatever. I appreciate you listening in, but be safe, right? So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead up and I'm gonna pull up Jalen Milroe's stats per ESPN. It's coming out this year in the draft. Absolutely should. 6'2", 225 pounds. Runs like the wind, right? He's throwing for 2,844 yards, 16 touchdowns. He had 11 interceptions. He has a quarterback rating of 78.3, which is 14th in the nation. Not in the conference, in the nation, okay? Oh, that's not that good. Hey, look, everybody, each and every one of these quarterbacks got things to work on. So who could I compare Jalen Milroe to? Immediately, you got to compare him to electric as Lamar Jackson. You just got to. Cannot go and compare him to anybody else because they're probably not even in the same league. So you got to compare him to Lamar Jackson. So I pulled up the stats from 2017, which was Lamar's last year. He was drafted in 2018 to the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens got hell for picking Lamar Jackson. He was the 15th best quarterback. Josh Rosen had better college stats than Lamar Jackson. Logan Woodside out of Toledo had better stats than Lamar Jackson. Drew Lock from Missouri had better stats than Lamar Jackson. This draft consisted of Sam Darnold. Riley Ferguson had better stats at Memphis. Baker Mayfield was the number 2 quarterback. Mason Rudolph to the Pittsburgh Steelers was the best quarterback in college football. He is a second string quarterback right now. Baker Mayfield had troubles. He did all right. He's still decent. Mike White is from Western Kentucky, was the number 4. He's bounced around the NFL. Sam Darnold is just now popping off in his 7th year. His first playoff game in 7 years. He was number 5 from SC. Do y'all get where I'm going with this? This is just not me talking on my ass when I'm saying that these players, not everybody who leads the stats statistically in college goes to the NFL and pans out, and not everybody who plays decently in college or okay in college goes to the NFL and plays well. Because they were telling Lamar Jackson to switch his position because he was the number 15 because he threw 27 touchdowns and had 10 interceptions. And he only completed he had a 60% completion percentage, 59.1 if you want to be exact. So, like, if you go off a completion percentage alone, Lamar Jackson drops out of number 15. He drops tremendously down. So we got to go off the yards. So we go off the yards. He was 15th in yards. You know what I mean? As far as touchdowns and everything, Lamar Jackson, he did fairly okay in the middle of the quarterbacks. That's why the Ravens took heck getting him. Jalen Milroe is an absolute diamond to get in the draft, and this is why I think so. Because I think they're very similar quarterbacks, man. Lamar Jackson 6'2", 205. Jalen Milroe's a little bit bigger than him and probably runs just as fast. He was picked 32nd by the Baltimore Ravens in round 1. He was the last pick of the draft in that 2018 draft. You get what I'm saying? So, like, it's crazy that people think that Jalen Milroe won't really pan out, man. And I'm gonna look, and we're gonna take a look at Jalen Milroe's. We're gonna take a look at Jalen Milroe's, his career stats. Let's look at the years and what he's been doing in Alabama. He's been getting better. Even he didn't throw as many interceptions as last year, but he's completing 64% of his passes. He was completing 66% last year. So is he accurate? Yeah, that man's accurate. Yeah, he could throw a ball. He was sacked 44 times last year. He was sacked 23 times this year. That's a hell of a lot of times to be sacked. And it's still damn near be going to the national championship. So Alabama's offensive line has not been the best. Has not been the best. And this is what Jalen Milroe under duress. He got 200, almost 200. He had 200 more yards almost than what he did last year. 7 more attempts. Only with 7 more attempts, he gets almost 200 more yards than what he did last year. 20 rushing touchdowns Jalen Milroe had this year, including his 16 passing touchdowns he had. He finished off his career. He's finishing his college career rushing wise. 375 carries, 1,577 yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. 33 touchdowns, and his longest run was for 77 yards. His career passing for college, 426 attempts, 426 completions, 663 attempts. His career completion percentage is 64.3, thrown for 6,016 yards, averaging 9 yards per throw, 45 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, long for 84, and he's been sacked 73 times, and he has his total passer rating of not QBR, but passer rating of 156.8. He got it. He got it. I'm sorry to say it, but Jalen Milroe got it, bro. He got it. He had a bad year this year. Granted, coming out, he's going to slip to a great team. He is a great pickup. If the Pittsburgh Steelers want to grab a quarterback and not go with Justin Fields, I'm sorry to say this because this is my favorite team. Jalen Milroe is the guy to go after. Yes, he is. He's mobile, very mobile. He has some time to grow. He does. He has some time to grow. So what quarterback do we get to have Milroe sit behind, or do we just throw Milroe to the wolves and say, you know what, we're starting all the way over? We got to get him the experience. He's going to be our franchise quarterback. Let go out there and see what you got, Milroe. I think it's a great pickup. And I promise you, we cannot. I don't want to miss on a talent like this at quarterback. They don't come around. This speed that Jalen Milroe has at quarterback, it just does not come a dime a dozen. If we're not going to keep Fields, we got to go after Jalen Milroe. Because whoever gets him is just I'm telling y'all right now that I believe that they're going to get a diamond. They're going to get a diamond, not a gem, not just any gem in the draft. No, they're getting a diamond in the draft, bro. I'm telling y'all this. Don't take my word for it. Whatever you think, you know what I mean? It is what it is. And you can possibly say that he really didn't have too much out there for help wise in the SEC. They didn't, and I mean they were just right outside of making the playoffs. Yeah, they lost some games, but he was one of the best quarterback coaches there was, and uh, guys. Kellen DeBoer. Kellen DeBoer also had Michael Penix. Jalen Milroe absolutely slipping in the draft is like, it's crazy to me, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy to me that Jalen Milroe has slipped in the draft. Like I'm not kidding y'all. Like I wish I was, but I'm not playing. Like that is crazy to me. If Jalen Milroe's gonna slip, man, oh boy, I don't even know what to say for real about Jalen Milroe slipping the way that he has slipped. Now, will you be able to get Jalen Milroe in the second or third round? Probably, maybe, man, maybe. If not one of those teams, go ahead and jump up and say, you know what, we're cool off Shador. Let's go and get Milroe. I'm telling you, don't be shocked. So many people have done it. I mean, look, and we got the 21st pick in the draft. If we could spend the 21st pick in the draft on now, I granted he's better than Malik Willis. Malik Willis played at believe it was Liberty, right? He played at Liberty, and I'm not saying that Liberty's bad, but when you got somebody who's playing in the SEC and they look the way that Jalen Milroe did, you could even argue that Lamar Jackson played in the ACC, and Lamar Jackson, in college wise, he wasn't the best he was one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC that year. I believe he was. Let me be sure so I can look it up. So I'm just not, talking so that we're able to pull out the stats, because I do believe that he was one of the best quarterbacks at the time in the ACC. So we'll look at it together. So this is Lamar Jackson in the ACC. He was the best quarterback in the in the Athletic Coastal Conference. I don't think he really had that much of a competition. Daniel Jones was the eighth best. Kelly Bryant was with Clemson. Josh Jackson with Virginia Tech. Malik Roser with Miami. John Wolford at Wake Forest. Kurt Benedict at Virginia. Ryan Finley at North Carolina State. I know. I don't think he had much competition in the ACC at all. I mean, you could argue that Finley and Jackson and those guys, they all Daniel Jones playing and all that. But Lamar Jackson was the best quarterback in the American Athletic Conference that year. You know, but Jalen Milroe's he's not popping off at the stats, but he has all the physical attributes. I mean, you could fix a lot of the other things that's going on with him, and you could argue that Pittsburgh is not the most quarterback centric type of place. He's six in the SEC behind what Taylor Green. That guy just had a great showing this year, excellent showing. Quinn Ewers, who was throwing the ball all over the yard, but his completion percentage was damn near up there with Quinn Ewers. Not to say that Quinn Ewers is good or anything, but up there, damn near the same completion percentage as Garrett Nussmeier, just thrown for, let's say, 200 less times than Garrett Nussmeier did, but they had the same completion percentage. He's in that realm. Another guy is Jackson Dart. When you lead in the SEC in passing yards like that and completion percentage, and you throw him for 400 times, and you completing 70% of your passes, 6 interceptions, 29 touchdowns. Jackson Dart is another guy too that I must be talking about. That slipped in the draft. 6'2", another 6'2", 225 guy that can throw the rock. And he can throw the rock. And these are guys who slipped in the draft, man. That's not talked about as being first round picks. And guys that are talking about they're in the quarterback class, one of the worst that they're seeing. Like really? Like really? We talking about one of the worst. No, there's no way. 2018 was probably the worst NFL draft that y'all seen. Like so far with quarterbacks, like what are all those quarterbacks doing? Like Baker Mayfield, he was a backup. He played horrible for a couple years though. He just bounced back. Sam Darnold didn't pan out at all. Lamar Jackson, everybody gave him hell. He's the best probably out of his class right now in 2018. But if you look at this class and I can guarantee you, we get to looking back at this class of quarterbacks. And I can guarantee you that this class of quarterbacks probably will not be the worst. Like you got Shador Sanders coming out, you got Cam Ward coming out, Jackson Dart coming out, Kyle McCord coming out, Jalen Milroe coming out. Those are all guys I think that'll pan out, and those ain't even the quarterbacks that I think that might make a change in the flip and with time to come. I do think that there's other guys in this draft. Like I think Will Howard might make a little stamp. Curtis Rourke might make a little stamp. Who else is coming out? Donovan Smith, 6'5", 235. I want to see what he run first. From the University of Houston, I want to see how he pan out because I think he has no he is a gunslinger. He has no. The reason why he's rated so low is because he gives his receivers a chance. KJ Jefferson, he's a big guy, 6'3", 247, built for the withstand some of that pressure out there. I like the way he kind of throw it. There's a lot of things a lot of these guys can work on. I said DJ Alphabet, DJ Ukulele, man. I like. Oh my gosh, man. I think DJ. I think like and I know I'm gonna catch a lot of flack with saying DJ like that, but the throws that he wants to make, I think are pro type of throws. But these are and he's more of a pocket type of guy. Like I don't see him actually getting busy. KJ Jefferson, he's a runner. He's big. I think he's another guy that might, you know what I'm saying, you might want to you could catch in the later rounds that might step up and actually be something. I honestly do, but this is one of no, I don't think that this is one of the worst quarterback drafts at all. I think they just don't want to see these quarterbacks go. And I didn't even mention like Dylan Gabriel. Um, I think I mentioned Riley Leonard, Curtis Rourke, Mac Brosmer from Minnesota, Tyler Shaw from Louisville. Hell, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that this is going to be a like that bad of a quarterback draft. I really honestly don't. I don't think it's going to be that bad, man. When we actually look back and these guys are saying this is not a strong quarterback draft, like why would we say that? Like that's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm here to say now that I hope that we do not get fooled into thinking that this is going to be one of those bad quarterback type of drafts. And I hope that my team looks at a lot of these quarterbacks. But I will tell y'all once again that I think that like those guys, I think that Milrow will be a diamond nonetheless. All right. Alec Anomayer, 6'2", 210. I think you'll probably be able to get him maybe in the second round pick type of guy. Think he's damn good. Super guy. But the guy that I think that we should be getting, honestly, third round pick, and I think he might be there in the third round, is Savion Williams. I think we should go Mika Buka, first round, 21st pick, second round, Travion Henderson, or first, excuse me, let me say this over again. First round, Jalen Milroe. Let's go Jalen Milroe first round. If we're not keeping Justin Fields, if we keep Justin Fields, then yes, we have to go receiver first pick. If we're not going to sign Justin Fields again, then yes, we have to go get Jalen Milroe. But if we're going to keep Justin Fields, then yes, we go Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State. Second round, we got it Quinshawn Judkins or Travion Henderson. Third round, Savion Williams from TCU, 6'5", 225. He's a guy that slipped. He's a guy that slipped. We talking about these guys that are slipping. Travion Henderson. I'm talking about you getting Travion Henderson or Quinshon Judkins in the second round, 52nd pick overall. Talking about getting Savion Williams from TCU, 6'5", 225 in the third round of the draft. Because this is not supposed to be a strong draft. This is this is the things that the Steelers need to go after. We need to get these other guys the defense. We need to fill the defense, and we need to fill the defense with free agency. Get some of those older guys there. Get some of these young legs, fresh hands out there on that offense, man. Get these weapons going, man. We talking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? I already talked about some of the other receivers that slipped in the draft tremendously. How does a guy like Nick Nash play quarterback, winds up being leading the NCAA. Okay, granted, he played in the Mountain West. Mountain West ain't that damn bad, y'all. Come on, it just ain't that damn bad. You know what I mean? Like, so they had a representative in the college football playoff with a bye. They ain't that damn bad. 6'3", 195 pounds. I think that's what's hurting him is the 195 pounds, but he played quarterback. Nick Nash played quarterback, so he knows how to, you know what I mean, how to sit in there. Torrey Horton, another guy, 6'3", 185 pounds. He's nice. Like, what are we talking about? We talking about guys like, guys I think that is really slipping in the draft. There's a bunch of guys who have slipped in the draft, and it's almost sickening, man. Ja'Cory Brooks, 6'3", 190. He's gonna slip in the draft, man. Like, this is it's just crazy to me, man. You know what I mean? You're gonna be able to get you a nice special teams guy like Jimmy Horn or LaJohntay Wester in the later rounds. And those guys got very dangerous speed, beep type speed, getting past you, gone. You know what I mean? Like, another guy, that might be slipping in the draft too. Chris Paul Jr., linebacker from Ole Miss. I think he might have slipped in the draft. Cody Simon, linebacker from Ohio State. I think he slipped down there. They're talking about him being like a third round type of guy right now. Jay Higgins. Jay Higgins from Iowa, linebacker from Iowa. One of the best. You probably get him in the later rounds. Let's not talk about the leading tackler in the nation from Buffalo, linebacker from Buffalo, led the nation in tackles, just a tackling machine. He's not even on. I don't even think he's on nobody's big board as linebacker, which is crazy to me. Like, how do you lead the nation in tackling at linebacker, being in the MAC? I don't give a damn what conference you're in, but you leading the nation in tackling as a linebacker, and he's not even in there. Like, what are we talking about? Crazy to me, man. Just crazy. This is just wild. This is wild that these guys are slipping in the draft. Sean Dulac from Buffalo. Yes, Sean Dulac from Buffalo has slipped down in the draft. This is crazy to me, y'all. This is just wild that I'm naming these names. And yes, I said it what I said at the beginning of the video, and I stand by that. But this is wild that these, like, come on, man. Come on, man. A guy who I think is really going to stand out and be able to make the transition, and I don't know why he slipped. The cornerback from LSU, Zaya Alexander. I want to see how he run at 6'2", 194 pounds. I want to see how he run. Darren Porter from Iowa State. If y'all remember him, a tall guy, 6'4", 200 pounds, coming out. You'll probably be able to get him in the later rounds. I want to see how he run at 6'4", big guy, almost locked down. Like him. Really I like that guy. Noah Williams led interceptions in the country, hands like crazy, 6'1", 200 pounds, dude. You know what I'm saying? He led the intercept. He led with interceptions at all DBs, and they got him ranked as a fifth round pick. But he's at cornerback. But so you'll be able to get these guys late, but these guys are all slipped in the draft, and I think that and my point is taken, and yes, I'm biased with my Pittsburgh Steelers, but any teams, any one of these good teams could be getting better. I do not think that this draft lacks talent at all. I don't think that. I just think these are guys who can, if anything, I think this class is very mature. I think this class is going to be a very mature. And when we look back at this draft class of 2025, I think that we're going to say that, to be honest, Truck and Chubby is going to say that, damn, that 2025 draft class wasn't half bad. There was some damn good players that came out of that 2025 draft. I think that's what we're going to be saying in the future. You know what I mean? But I want to say it right now. You know what I mean? I want to say it right now that I think that this draft class is going to be okay. I think that these are guys that I don't think, and it's the beautiful thing about this draft is that you don't have to reach for any of the players. This draft, to be honest with y'all, and if y'all really want me to give it to y'all and be real, and I'm going to say this, and yes, I'm Pittsburgh Steelers biased, but I'm just going to keep it a buck. This draft that's going on this year is a Pittsburgh Steelers type of draft. Yes, it is. Teams like the good teams are going to become great with this draft class. Because they're going to slip because they don't pop because these teams are not evaluating. I hope they don't listen. I hope they do listen to the media and say that these quarterbacks are no good. Because if you ask me, Jalen Milroe should probably be one of the first. At least he should definitely be one of them quarterbacks above the board first. Why would you not? I mean, like, look, okay, and I'm closing out with this argument, and I'm gonna say this right. I know I'm catching hell right now, and I'm saying this right. His completion percentage ain't up there because he don't hold the ball. He does throw the ball away. He does have a cannon. Um, yeah, he made some bad decisions. I think he was being rushed and hurried a lot of the times. I think that the offensive line from Alabama just did not get better overnight. Um, he took less sacks this year because he got rid of the ball a lot of the times, and he ran a whole lot too. His rushing yards went up 200 more because he took off instead of waiting to get sacked and was making plays. So you got to credit him to that too. So credit him with his 700 something rushing yards and his 20 touchdowns on the ground, along with his 16 touchdowns he threw through the air when he had time to pass. So I'm just saying, if you put all of his touchdowns together, then you got to say the young man had 36 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. You got to average that out. Your quarterback got 20 rushing touchdowns, dog. We ain't talking about no little ones. He was taking it to the house. That's the guy I want on my team, for sure, for sure. And the pros, that's the guy that I want on my team. He has pro dual threat ability written all over him. Not college passer. No, he has pro dual threat ability written all over him. Tracker Chubby is saying it. I'm stamping it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But God damn it, I believe in Jalen Milroe. Period. All right. That's all I got to say, y'all. I'm up out of